The Scholastic Ball Report is sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Double Dogs, Mingy Beef Jerky, Panel Swim Shop, P-Rats, PrepSpend.com, Rafferty's, Raising Cane's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.
Hello, welcome into the Scholastic Ball Report. Gary Ball with the head coach of Montgomery County, Jamie Egley. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Oh, it's great to be here. We're excited for the opportunity.
You're the team of the week, and you've got three big reasons why you're team of the week.
We do. Jay Eads, Ty Eads, and Justin Carosi.
Eads kids already they're related, correct?
Yes, yeah, they're brothers or twins, but you know those three are the reason that we're having success this year. They're doing a great job.
And our scholar athletes, they're from LCA Golf. All they did was win the state championship, the team state championship, and they're all 4.0 students, Coach.
Yeah, great kids and a great accomplishment.
And they're our scholar athletes. And we got a Sutherland Chevrolet drive of the week as we head down to Nicholasville. And Peter Gray's in from UK Sports Medicine. He's going to talk about meals, and you know how important that is as a head coach.
Yeah, you got to fuel your body if you can perform as well as you can, so it's really important.
Exactly right. And also we'll have the LCA young ladies in the wrap with us as well, talking about the great accomplishment they had this past week in Bowling Green. All that coming up on the show, but we know what you want. You want the best highlights in the state of Kentucky. We call it Game Time here with Lee K. Howard and Brian Milam. It's brought to you by Central Bank.
Winner tonight will be in the driver's seat for #1 seed in the playoffs, which begin in 3 weeks from tonight. Boyle County had the engine running early on. Reed Lanter swing past the Riley Colwick, picks up a few yards in space. He looks like a tow truck pulling a host of defenders. Another 10 yards. That sets up this a few plays later. The fake to Colwick and a give to Landon Bartleson. Coasts his way in. 7-0 Rebels. Following a Catholic punt, Boyle County catches the Knights napping. Lanter to a wide open, and I mean he's wide open, Reese Smith. 66-yard touchdown to make it 14-0. Rebels roll tonight 40-14 over the Knights.
The last school not named Scott County to win this district was Bryan Station in 09. Second quarter, Clay up 10-6. Station's Amadius Taylor up the middle for the score, making it 12-10 defenders at the half. Third quarter now, Langston Jackson just carrying some defenders on his back for the gain, and that would set up Dorian Harden. And hopefully Station tacklers had their seatbelts on because Harden took them on a ride right into the end zone. Keep moving those legs, kids. Henry Clay gets the win, 31-12.
All right, Scott County trying to bounce back after consecutive district losses for the first time since 2005, which was the last time Dunbar beat the Cardinals. Opening drive for the Bulldogs, and they get stuffed. Zach Coleman busting it up in the backfield. And then on the ensuing drive, Scott County grounds and pounds. This is Isaiah Shannon keeping that Dunbar defense on its toes. And then on the very next play, plenty of space here from Montego Jones. He's just a freshman, but he's got some speed. 23 yards to the house. Scott County wins big tonight, 53-8.
And welcome back into the Scholastic Ball Report. I want to thank Roberts Insurance. They're out of Richmond, Kentucky on Main Street. They insure 3/4 of this great state of Kentucky. Speaking of this great state, from Mount Sterling, Kentucky, specifically Montgomery County, Coach Egley's in with us. And at what point this season did you know that this team was going to be special?
We had a pretty good run last year, went 10-3.
Yeah.
We only lost 6 seniors who played. And so we kind of knew coming into the year we had a chance to be really good. And if we stayed healthy and continued to be unselfish and we're 16-4 in our last 18, last
16
20
out of 20 games.
Yeah, that's a good deal, and these three guys are a big reason for that. Not just Friday night performance, but in the classroom, the weight room, in the locker room, their leadership, work ethic, they set the standard for the rest of our team. 2 Governor Scholars,
yes. And all 3 of them have 4.5
or
grade
better.
point or
yeah.
better.
Yes.
Grade point average. That's phenomenal.
Yes, great kids, great kids.
Those are a lot of reasons that the Indians are successful.
Mm-hmm. There's no doubt. Yeah, they do a tremendous job in our leaders in our program and in the community and the school. And without these 3, we wouldn't have the success we've had.
Well, Jay, I got to start with you if you don't mind. What's it like, first off, this is a 2-pronged question. What's it like playing with your brother?
It's just a really enjoyable experience. I know someone has my back on and off the field, and I just really enjoy it. It's a great time.
The other prong of that question, how good can this team be?
I think we're as good as we want to be. This is probably the most dedicated group of guys I've been around, and we just got to put the time in. And I know we want to win. We just got to get there.
That's good to have the will to win, you know.
That's right, that's right.
Ty, what are the strengths of the team and why?
I'd say the strengths of our team is that we've been together since junior pro, so as a whole we are pretty connected and we got each other's backs and we all just do our job. We're not trying to do too much, but we just make plays when they need to be made, and we're just trying to go out there and win a ball game. So.
Justin, that 4.5 is still blowing my mind. Coach, 4.5 grade point average. My goodness, Coach. But you're also the leading rusher, the leading scorer on the football team. But you know as well as I do, you're nothing without that O-line.
Yes, sir. Football is a complete team game. It takes all 11 people on the field to be good. So you're only as good as how well everybody plays together. So our 6 offensive linemen play phenomenal and make it easy for me to run the ball.
The weakest link, as they say. You know,
That's
the
right.
weakest link.
That's
Remember
right.
that old show, The Weakest Link?
Yeah.
You know, that lady?
Mm-hmm. Coach, you had a big game with Anderson County, and then you just have 2 more games left in the regular season. Tell us more about that.
Well, it's amazing because football is not like any other sport. You only get a limited amount of opportunities to play. You know, we don't play 30 games a year. And I know it's sneaking up on these guys, they're seniors, that it's almost over. And so we have a huge ball game Friday night with Anderson, and then 2 games left in the regular season, and then the playoffs start in November. And our motto was built for November, and we try to be playing our best football in November. But yeah, the season flies by. You work your tail off year round for a guaranteed 10 opportunities, and so we want to make the most of those 10 opportunities.
And I got to ask Jay and Tom, we'll throw you a little softball here.
All right.
You guys, you look so much alike. Do any ever confused there by the fans or opponents or anything like that?
I'd say definitely, but we do try to have fun with it. Like, I'll take on Jay one day, and then Jay will be me one day just for fun. So.
That makes it interesting,
Dude,
doesn't it, Coach?
this is my 3rd year, so when I first got there with them, it was tough.
Yeah.
And then finally you learn characteristics and what separates them.
We don't have a whole lot of time, but your district is always tough there. Always a tough district.
Yeah,
Tell us
you
about
know,
that.
Anderson's really good. Madison Southern just played in the state finals.
Yeah.
It's a really well-coached, competitive district. And so it makes it enjoyable as a coach because you're going against teams who prepare and who watch film and who practice and play the right way. And that's enjoyable to coach against.
Well, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoyed having you on the show.
We appreciate being here and everything you do for
Thank you, Montgomery
sports.
County. Thank you, guys. Keep up the good work. That's the Montgomery County Indians are having a fantastic season. They played Anderson County Friday night, and that was a tough ball game for both teams. We'll be back with more on the Scholastic Ball Report. Welcome back into the Scholastic Ball Report, one of our most popular segments because it highlights young ladies, young men doing great things in the classroom. In this case, it's Lexington Christian Academy, state champions in golf. Congratulations for that. I mean, that just sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Let's start with Lainey here. You're a state individual champion, and you have a 4.0. Does this strive for excellence just come natural for you, or do you really have to work at it?
Well, it's kind of both. I always want to do my best in everything I do, but I also have to put in work when no one's watching.
And that pays off, doesn't it?
Yes,
and
sir.
I like that, when nobody's watching.
Delia, Lexington Christian Academy has a good learning environment. How does that help you and your team on the course?
The teachers are really encouraging and helpful. So when we missed 5 days for region and state, so they gave us like ample time to make up all of our assignments and quizzes and tests. So it lowers the stress a lot when you're playing.
And Sarah, when did it sink in to you guys that you were 2018 state champs?
Well, as I was coming off of 18th green the second day, my friends approached me, Maddie Cecil and Becca Upchurch, and they just told us, y'all are in the lead and like y'all are actually like have a good chance at winning. And then as I watched Lainey come in and make her putt, and I mean, I just knew, and it was really exciting. And as we were signing the flags afterwards, I mean, I just thought, well, this is it, like we won.
Lainey, now that you are going to have such a bright future, like what are your plans? What do you want to do?
I'll just have to keep working at it and see what opportunities are put my way and take them.
Coach, the goal with any team that plays high school sports is always a state champion. Okay, so you reached this with your daughter on the team. That has to be so special.
It was awesome. It was a thrill and something I'll never forget. They're just a great group of girls, and they work so hard together, and they're all for each other, and I just couldn't be any prouder of them.
And I guess for any of you, what are your plans now? What are you going to do? Is golf in your future? I think some of you have another year next year, so a strong lead again next year.
Yes, I've already set my golf goals with my swing coach for 2019, and I'm a junior, so I have another year, and then I hope to play golf in college.
And you're a junior also, so you have another year to come back and repeat as the state champion. What about you, Sarah? What year are you?
I'm a junior.
So all of you you got them all back next year, Coach, or
we have
you big goals next year?
we have them all back, and we hope to be back here visiting with you guys again same time next year.
Yeah, because that would mean that you're a state champion again, a repeat state champion. Well, if you would pass that down, you all receive a beautiful plaque from Ryan Tyson. He's with Crown Trophy. That's over there by Starbucks on Nicholasville Road. Put your name, personalize that for you. Congratulations, not only for winning the state champion, just being team players. And Coach, like you said, they're all for each other. They're not just one, they're all for each other. That's what makes a team. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lexington Christian Academy, they're all for one. And now we'll go into the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
It's time for the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week, and it's Western Hills' Wandell Robinson. Check out this run that he makes with a spin move once, but not once, another spin move over Garrett County. Breaks free of that scrum. He's going to go 51 yards to the house. However, there was a holding penalty on the play. However, that did not make those moves. Western Hills' Wandell Robinson, one heck of a night once again on Friday against Garrett County. That's your Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
And welcome back into the UK Sports Medicine Orthopedic Surgery segment, and Peter Gray's with us. Thanks for joining us, Peter, as always on the show.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
And what should I eat before a big game that I'm about ready to play in?
So ideally, it's individualized to the athlete and the sport and their nutritional needs. But you want to emphasize carbohydrates, ones that are easy to digest, like rice, sweet potatoes, variety of fruits and vegetables, protein coming from things like grilled chicken, and good fats from, say, avocado or a small handful of nuts, and of course hydrating with water.
Right.
When should I eat my pregame meal?
So typically it takes about 3 hours to digest a full meal. So I usually say about that 3 hours before the game, eat your meal. I usually say eat a couple bites less than you normally eat, and then about a half hour before the game, maybe have half a banana or a bite of a granola bar, and that's going to sustain you for the whole game.
I know what happened in my tennis game now. I played 2 hours after I ate. It wasn't 3 hours. And I was terrible the other night. I lost in straight sets. Go ahead.
What should I eat during my season?
So I would encourage all athletes, maybe on the off season, to kind of do a food log, tracking macronutrients, tracking caloric intake, and this way they get a good idea of what their body needs for their goals, as far as losing weight, gaining weight, sustaining weight throughout the season. and it's a good educational thing for the athletes.
Are there some foods to avoid?
Yeah, so game day is definitely not a great time to try new foods. Definitely don't go to the new Indian restaurant before the game.
Yeah, no.
But we also want to avoid high fiber things like beans, and then just a large amount of fats that can take a long time to digest.
Right. Thank you, Peter. Great stuff. As always, keep us in the game there at UK Sports Medicine. Our title sponsor on the show for the last 16 years, UK Sports Medicine Orthopedics. Now let's go to these final highlights. These highlights on Game Time brought to you by Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
Visiting Tate's Creek, the Commodores looking to make it 4 in a row over their district foe. First quarter, Clarkson Atavius Thomas fumbles it. It's picked up by Elliott Bryant, who takes it 70 yards the other direction for the touchdown. Just leaving him in his dust. 6-0 Commodores. Creek's McCaleb Coffey then drops back and throws an absolute missile to Miles Thomas. He hauls it in, and that would set up a 4th down play. It's going to be Coffey scrambling, looking for something. He gets rocked by Aquavion Lewis. Clark County does snap a 3-game losing streak to the Creek with the 30-12 win.
All right, same district, Madison Central trying to stay on the path to the number one playoff seed at Lafayette tonight. Central was down 7-3 in the second. Freddie Chenault earns all 18 of these yards. Former Athlete of the Week right here on WKYT. Finally brought down at the 10-yard line. Then it was Miller time. That's Derek Miller in for the quarterback dive for the touchdown. Indians go out in front 10-7, but that lead did not last long. Ensuing kickoff, Tiandre Newcomb back to receive. He's got the zig, he's got the zag, and he's got a foot race.
See ya.
80 yards for the touchdown. But Madison Central hands Lafayette. Not good. An 8th straight loss tonight, 25-17.
And down in Somerset tonight, the Briar Jumpers shut out LCA 35-0.
Wow.
That's the first time Somerset has beaten both LCA and Danville in the same season since winning this district in 2012. Wow.
That Somerset team is something special this year.
And welcome back into the wrap of the show from LCA Golf. We've got 2 more members of the team, and you guys did fantastic. You are a Governor Scholar.
Mm-hmm.
You also tell us about some of the musicals you sung in there at the LCA.
Well, my first musical was Beauty and the Beast, and that was in 7th grade. And ever since then, I've just fell in love with singing. And recently this year, I played the role Ursula in The Little Mermaid. And it was my first independent role, and it was really exciting to see what that might be like if I wanted to do that when I'm older, and I'm definitely interested.
You're a Governor Scholar.
Yes, sir.
And now you're on a state champion golf team with all that.
It is unbelievable. I can't believe that we won, and I just love my team so much. I couldn't have done it without them.
And it probably helps you, ma'am, that you've been on the golf team since 7th grade. So you had 2 years to kind of acclimate to the golf team there, get to know everybody. We know you all get along because Coach already told us that. So that probably really helped you, didn't it?
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
I started playing in 7th grade, and I averaged probably the low hundreds in 7th grade. And then in 8th grade, I dropped to the low 90s. And then this year, I'm in the low 80s.
That's fantastic. And how about your game? I mean, we've talked about all the musicals you did and everything. How about your golf game? Did you shoot well at the state?
This year was probably a breakthrough year for me score-wise, because I am out of the 80s and more going into the upper 70s, which is huge, and it'll really benefit the team.
I wish I could shoot in the upper 70s. I mean, for front nine I can. I don't know about the back nine. Anyway, great job, young ladies. Thanks for being with us on the show, and we'll look forward to seeing you next year. As always, on the Scholastic Ball Report, for those you see and those you don't see,
keep your eye on the Scholastic Ball Report.
The Scholastic Ball Report was sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Double Dogs, Mingy Beef Jerky, Panel Swim Shop, P-Rats. PrepSpin.com, Rafferty's, Raising Cane's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.